Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's Reddit Quickie from the subreddit HFY, called Regal Legal Attorney at Law. Written by Regal Legal. The link to the original will be down below. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Sir, you have a client on the line. Billy Bob. I couldn't help but sigh as I reached up to pick up the audio receiver then, and already began to rub the side of my beak in preparation for his reaction. Regal Legal Attorney at, yeah, I know who you are, and you know who I am. What's all this crap about being served? I thought someone had ordered me a space pizza. Turns out that I've got to go to space court again, and there's a space pineapple on the decoy space pizza. Space pineapple. Like, court isn't enough of an insult, I almost didn't eat it. I waited for a few moments before following up the cursing died down. Almost. I let out a sigh then. Well, it's a group of naturalists, or naturists, or something along those lines, who said you failed to deliver a package because you, in fact, stole it from them. I looked at the paperwork on my desk to make sure that there was a main grievance. Boulder crap! I delivered the package fair and square, but they were a bunch of dirty-smelling commie hippies. They were all vegetarians, or whatever, and were going to raise a carnivore on a meat-free diet. That's animal cruelty. Tilted my head to the side at that. Possibly, I'll look into it. Oh, and you have a lesser charge floating around about stealing someone's prize-winning pig. I looked at the note and I attached it to the other file. Somewhere in the deep south? On Deep South, the planet, and it wasn't me, that was Emily. I scoffed as he said that, as if a proud libertarian would steal someone's prized pig. The idea was just truly silly. Don't you mean libertarian? I paused at that and shifty looking around the room. I know what I mean. I tried to cover up my mistake. Well, I'm serious. It was her, not me, though. I did eat it afterwards, because I wasn't going to let it go to waste. Damn good hog, too. I shook my head at that and wrote guilty on the scrap piece of paper that would see about working out some settlement, or just pretending that it never happened and they didn't have any evidence. All right, well, I think that's all I need to talk to you about. Are there any criminal acts that you've committed that I need to know about? Billy Bob hummed and thought it over for a while, and I listened to the receiver and he finally seemed to remember something. Oh, I need you to clear something up with the intergalactic dance competition. They accused me of using performance-enhancing drugs in me and Emily's last performance, but it was really just a performance-enhancing hot sauce. It was way hotter than I expected, so I was dancing really fast so that I could go dunk my head in a barrel of beer to help it cool off. But they claim that the drug tests are invalid because capsaicin levels that I showed have been an anomaly since most species would be dead when they reach that much of it in them. I keep trying to tell them I just eat lots of Mexican food, but they won't listen. I added onto the note as he spoke, IDC, hot sauce is stupid human cultural trait. The self-inflict pain for fun. Which reminded me, are you on any actual drugs? I asked, and then there was a pause of several seconds before he replied. Possibly, but not any performance-enhancing ones. You're my space lawyer, you won't knock on me, will you? I rolled my eyes at that and underlined my next note. Don't let them drug test him again. Anything else? I asked. Anything else? I suppose there is one teeny, tiny, itty-bitty little thing. I waited for him to continue. My mum needs a lawyer. Again? I gasped out. Again, he confirmed. How can one person go through so many lawyers and so many lawsuits? She's just very enthusiastic and patriotic American. What can I say? I set my head on my hands as I thought about it over. I was thinking of trying to contact Angie, the Annihilator, the lawyer who beats up the opposing lawyers. Then you'd be doubling up the assault charges. How did you know my mum was on an assault charge again? Call it a wild hunch, I replied dryly before sighing and shaking my head. At least they'll get along. Sure, fine, go with her. I couldn't think of a better choice. Right, talk to you soon. When he hung up, I contemplated on how the intergalactic court would never survive humanity. Sir, the intercom chirped. Yes, I replied and then tapped on the intercom button. While you were on the line, some guy named Ted called. I waited for more, but nothing came. And? I asked. That's it, he called. Did he leave a message? To tell you that he called. I shook my head once more. Fine. Anything else? I pressed on. Your biggest client is here to see you. With that, I sat up a bit straighter and adjusted my tie before realizing who my biggest client really was. Oh. Well, send him in. I stopped cleaning up since I knew that it wouldn't matter. The door opened up and a familiar figure in a jacket and some sort of flaming bird on the back of it walked in and took a seat. Vincent Flaming Bird, do you understand how unusual it is that a cop needs a lawyer this often? Truly, most of my clients were troubled humans frequently butting heads with the law, even when they were also the law. First off, you need to adjust your translator. It's Phoenix, not Flaming Bird. That sounds, not right. But back with why I'm here. This time I'm here because I want to sue someone. I took out a legal pad with my own lowest set of hands and then got ready to start writing as I used my upper hands to tap on a keyboard to bring up the screen in case that I'd need to search any files. And who do you want to sue? The government. He looked pleased with himself and nodded as he said it. Which one? Mine? Yours? The human one? I asked to clarify. The space one. Remember, I'm a space cop. I'm not suing America. You're out of your mind, he snorted and shook his head then. You want to sue them. Is this about that request that you made a while ago to be given, and I quote, a bigger gun to replace this little sissy blaster that you gave me? I told you that they weren't going to go for it. Actually, they let me have my own personal firearm when I stopped an armed robbery during one of my days off by shooting down a spaceship with it. He opened up his jacket a bit, and I could see the absurd hand cannon that he possessed. So, no, it's not about that. Is it about your claim that headbutts are part of the cultural traditions, and as such should be allowed under appropriate use of force rules? I asked as he shook his head. Nah, I just agreed to disagree with him about that one. I rolled my eyes. Then, is it about your petition to change the rights of criminals after you arrest them? I dropped it. I still tell them that they have the right to confess, and if they don't, then I'll just start kicking the crap out of them until they do. It's fairly effective. I groaned as he told me that. That's illegal. That makes the confession null and void. How have you not been brought up on charges about that? I asked. I don't put it in the report. It's not breaking the law if you don't get caught. Besides, I catch bad guys. It's totally okay. He shrugged. It's breaking the law whether you get caught or not. Not in America, it's not. It only counts if you get caught and that they can prove it. I sighed and shook my head as he said that. Okay, well, is this about your continued drug use? He froze up at that. I plead the fifth in regards to the alleged drug use of totally medicinal purposes. I keep telling you that the Fifth Amendment doesn't work outside of America. I stressed and raised my two upper hands. No, I'm pretty sure that it does, he said with a nod. See, if anyone asks me, I just say that I plead the fifth, and I keep repeating that until they get sick of asking. I let out a sigh and rolled my eyes. I'll make a note of that, I grumbled. So then why are you here to sue them? They won't let me go home to Earth. There's this massive conspiracy going on where they say that the planet no longer exists, or that it's lost in time. It's a bit confusing. As he said that, I frowned and I thought it over. How did you come to this conclusion? I asked, and he handed me his smart slate. See, when I try to book a flight home, it doesn't find anything. I looked at the screen and saw 12 o'clock flashing in the corner as he typed in the search Earth, then had come back with no results. I frowned for a moment and then held the power button down to turn the device off. After a few seconds, I turned it back on after it went through the loading screen and came back up with a language selection, time settings and preferences. There. You somehow set it to Gawaldian, and the time setting was messing with the scheduling of flight time. Vincent took the device back and stared at it for several long seconds. Oh. Well. Okay then, I guess I don't need to sue the government. Thanks. Without another word, he got up and quickly left as I slowly shook my head. Sir, the police are on the line about one of your clients, something about an old man with a bear scaring people. Ah, I keep telling them that he has a permit for the animal, and if they're on his property, they're trespassing, so he has the right to scare them off. Just send them the blue file on the left drawer marked Run, and it'll explain the legal situation to them succinctly. I was a little sad that I had to prepare so many similar files to send out. It says they can do what he wants. I heard my systems in confusion. Just send it to them, I instructed. But while you're on the line with them, see if they're still trying to pursue another client of mine, Andromeda. The so-called pirate baroness, my assistant asked. The one with the file-sharing site with thousands of exabytes of pirated music and movies. That's the one. I've tried explaining to them that piracy is a human cultural tradition protected by several religious and cultural preservation laws outside of the human space. But isn't it illegal inside of human space? I don't see why that should impact me being able to defend her actions as cultural tradition, I shrugged. Besides, I'm not even sure that they can find her. I have enough trouble with her myself, and I'm her lawyer. Yes, sir. Thought about it my day so far and couldn't help but reach into one of my desk drawers to get a hold of a human ration from the war. Why had I thought that it was a good idea to represent old war buddies? They were all nuts. I knew that from the war. But no, I thought that it would be a good idea to represent them in court as well. Ugh. I reached around and found my drawer to be empty before I hit the intercom. Have you seen any of my gel app, and cheese? Is that how it's pronounced? I thought I heard the humans call it halal apinyo. I scoffed at the pronunciation. That's absurd. You've seen how it's written on the package. Clearly, that's how you pronounce it. Gel app And anyway, have you seen them? I looked in the drawer to make sure that it was empty. You told me to get rid of them because you're trying to lose weight. I sighed as I remember that. But the human food is so good and efficient. All the nutrients and energy one needs to fight a war. But you aren't fighting a war, my assistant reminded me. Doesn't mean I can't eat like I am, I muttered. Anyway, sir, aren't you expected to get lunch with the human architect who wanted help, setting up all of those real, legitimate-like things? I forgot how it's phrased. I just know he keeps stressing legitimate a lot. Oh, right, I perked up. The one who always eats the family restaurant. Yes, that'll be fine. Although I'm not sure about his insistence to always kiss everyone. Did you think of what case you wanted to present to the board this year for your argument about why you should get a bonus? I rubbed my beak and then I thought about it. I thought I did it so well last year with the pro bono case about the girl who blew up her school with that science fair project. Don't you mean pro bono, sir? I know what I said. I glanced around my office shiftily once more. Who's my main competition anyway? The Loki brothers. Curse you, Loki brothers. Why must you two always have such amazing legal cases? I bet they don't have to deal with the space trucker and the space cops. Oh, why am I adding space to everything now? I huffed, feathers ruffling for a moment before I began to soothe them out. But it's okay. I have my secret weapon this year. That one case about the gardener and her dog. Humans love canines so much that they give them the strange names like Doggo and Papa. Isn't that a racial slur, sir? What? No, not Doggo. You're thinking of something else. I thought about it for a moment. I really do deserve more respect around here. After all, the humans made me king. I reached up and adjusted my crown on my head. Isn't that the toy crown from the human restaurant, sir? It still counts, I hissed. Should I also point out that we're space eagles, sir, and your success doesn't hinge on the approval of humans but the almighty publishers. I mean, partners, legal partners. They run the law firm you work at. Yes, I'm aware of how this works, I sighed. Well, I suppose I need to figure out how to get the attention of the almighty partners. Now you've got me doing it. I think I can win them over with piles of money. Do we have any of those lying around? Actually, we do have one. That surfer you defended finally bait up said something about 1,000 years of payback. But that might have been a typo. I frowned at that one. Don't you mean you think you spoke? I asked. I know what I said. I rolled my eyes and my assistant threw the phrase back at me. Well, is there anything else? I asked. Just a federal agent who's bugged your office sending me a list of the grammatical mistakes and spelling errors that you've made lately. Right on time. Type up the corrections and then post the minutes to the computer for my files for later. For I, Regal, who shall never rest when legal stories can be made and headlines can be stolen and fame earned, have also people to defend and promises of financial incentive, am going to lunch. And that, my friends, is the end of this Reddit Quickie. I hope that you enjoyed. If you'd like to support the channel or the author, all the stuff is down below. And as always, I hope that you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next story. Cheers.